We live in an age of wonders. We hold supercomputers in our palms, map distant galaxies, and manipulate the very building blocks of life. We tend to view history as a linear climb, a slow, steady ascent from primitive beginnings to our current technological peak. But what if that climb wasn't steady? What if history isn't a straight line, but a series of peaks and valleys, with heights of knowledge reached and then tragically lost? What if, scattered across the globe, hiding in plain sight within ancient ruins and cryptic artifacts, lies evidence of sophisticated technologies that challenge everything we think we know about our ancestors? Science often dismisses them as anomalies, misinterpretations, or simply impossible. But the artifacts remain, whispering tales of forgotten genius. Today, we journey into the shadows of history to uncover lost ancient technologies that science still struggles to explain. Our first stop is a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. In 1901, divers recovered corroded lumps of bronze that decades later revealed something astonishing: the Antikythera mechanism. Often called the world's first analog computer, this intricate device, dated to around 200–100 BC, is far more complex than simple clockwork. Mainstream archaeology acknowledges its brilliance, but often understates the depth of the enigma. It wasn't just tracking the sun and moon. Using advanced X-ray scanning, researchers have deciphered more of its hidden functions. This device modeled the irregular orbit of the moon, using a sophisticated system of epicyclic gearing, a concept supposedly not developed until centuries later. It predicted solar and lunar eclipses with remarkable accuracy, incorporating the 223-month Saros cycle and even the longer, more precise 54-year enigmas cycle. Recent studies suggest it might have even tracked the positions of the visible planets: Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Think about the knowledge required: advanced astronomy, intricate mathematics, and incredibly precise mechanical engineering, miniaturized to fit within this compact device no larger than a shoebox. Where did this knowledge come from in an era we associate with simpler technologies? Who possessed the understanding and the tools to craft such an object? The Antikythera mechanism isn't just a complex clock. It's a fossilized piece of highly advanced scientific knowledge, a technological island in a sea of time, hinting at a lost tradition of mechanical and astronomical expertise that simply vanishes from the historical record shortly after. Let's travel now from intricate gears to colossal stones. We've all marveled at the pyramids of Giza, but the mystery of ancient stonework runs much deeper and is far more widespread. Consider Pumapunku in Bolivia, high in the Andes. Here lie ruins featuring andesite blocks, a volcanic rock almost as hard as granite, cut with laser-like precision. These blocks feature intricate interlocking shapes, perfectly flat surfaces, and razor-sharp angles. Some weigh over 100 tons. Standard explanations involving simple stone or bronze tools and sheer manpower struggle to account for the sheer precision and the hardness of the material. How were these H-blocks, fitting together like puzzle pieces, created with such accuracy? Or journey to the Assyrian temple at Abydos, Egypt. Built from enormous rose granite blocks, some weighing up to 120 tons, fitted tightly together without mortar, it lies at a lower level than the adjacent temple of Seti Thur. Its partially submerged state has led to debates about water erosion, possibly indicating extreme age. But regardless of age, the quarrying, transport over hundreds of kilometers, and precise placement of these megaliths remain profound challenges to conventional explanations. Then there's Sacsayhuaman in Peru, with its staggering polygonal masonry, massive stones of irregular shapes fitting together so perfectly you can't slide a piece of paper between them. These aren't uniform bricks. Each stone is unique, yet perfectly matched to its neighbors. How was this achieved on such a massive scale? The common narrative suggests ramps, rollers, and immense labor forces. But look closer. At sites like Pumapunku, the terrain makes the use of long ramps highly impractical. The sheer weight of some blocks would crush wooden rollers. Some theories, often dismissed as fringe, talk of lost techniques involving sound, frequency, or vibration to levitate or soften stone. Concepts echoed in local legends. While seemingly fantastical, the inadequacy of conventional explanations forces us to ask, did ancient builders possess methods and knowledge about materials, science, and logistics that we have completely forgotten? The precision feels less like brute force and more like finesse, born from a different kind of understanding. Could ancient civilizations have harnessed more elusive forces, like electricity? The idea seems preposterous until you encounter the Baghdad battery. Discovered near Baghdad and dated potentially to the Parthian era, around 250 BC, 224 AD, this unassuming clay pot contained a copper cylinder and an iron rod, insulated by asphalt. When filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, it can produce a small electrical voltage, around 0.5 to 1 volt. Mainstream archaeology suggests it was used for electroplating objects or perhaps in religious rituals. Experiments show it can weakly electroplate. But could multiple batteries connected in series produce enough power for something more? While no ancient wiring has been found, the existence of a potential galvanic cell from this era is intriguing. This leads us to the controversial reliefs in the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, Egypt. They depict figures holding large, bulb-like objects with snake-like filaments inside, connected by cables to a box-like device, often interpreted as a jed pillar. Some see an uncanny resemblance to early electrical lighting devices like Crookes tubes or arc lamps. Proponents point to the lack of soot found in many deep tombs, suggesting a light source other than torches. While overwhelmingly considered a mythological representation by Egyptologists, the visual parallels are striking enough to fuel speculation. Was it pure symbolism or a symbolic representation of a forgotten technology? And what about optics? The Nimrud lens, a 3,000-year-old piece of polished rock crystal found in modern-day Iraq, resembles a magnifying glass or a component of a telescope. While its exact purpose is debated, magnifier, decorative inlay, or fire starter, it opens the door to considering ancient optical capabilities. Were the incredibly fine details seen in some ancient carvings and seals achieved with the naked eye alone? Or did artisans possess tools for magnification, perhaps even rudimentary telescopes described elliptically in ancient texts? Our quest takes us now into the realm of ancient texts and enduring legends, often dismissed as mere mythology, but sometimes containing surprisingly technical-sounding descriptions. The ancient Vedic texts of India, like the Ramayana and Mahabharata, speak of vimanas, flying chariots or palaces. While clearly embedded in epic narratives, some texts, like the Samarangana Sutradhara, describe their construction, propulsion methods, mentioning mercury vortex engines in some interpretations, materials, and even piloting instructions in remarkable detail. Are these just poetic fantasy or fragmented memories of aerial capabilities long lost? The descriptions often go beyond simple metaphor. Legends of other lost arts persist globally. Greek fire, the Byzantine naval weapon that burned on water, terrified enemies for centuries. Its exact formula remains unknown, a closely guarded state secret that was eventually lost. Damascus steel, famed for its strength, sharpness, and distinctive wavy patterns, was produced for centuries. The specific technique for creating its unique properties was lost, and modern attempts to replicate it have had only partial success. And Roman writers like Petronius and Pliny the Elder mentioned vitrum flexile, flexible glass, presented to Emperor Tiberius by an inventor who was supposedly executed to prevent the technology from devaluing precious metals. Likely legendary, it still speaks to an enduring fascination with potentially lost revolutionary materials. These accounts, whether purely myth, exaggerated tales, or garbled descriptions of real technologies, add another layer to the puzzle, a cultural memory of capabilities beyond what conventional history admits. The Antikythera mechanism, the impossible stonework, the Baghdad battery, the hints in Dendera, the legends of Vimanas, viewed in isolation, each might be dismissed as a curious anomaly. But taken together, they paint a tantalizing picture of a past far more complex and technologically diverse than we imagine. Mainstream science demands rigorous proof, and rightly so. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Yet, the persistent anomalies suggest that our understanding of history might be incomplete. It doesn't necessarily mean aliens intervened, as popular theories suggest. Perhaps it points towards forgotten peaks of human achievement, cycles of technological rise and fall driven by cataclysms, societal collapse, or the deliberate suppression of knowledge. Maybe the greatest lost technology is the open-mindedness to consider that our ancestors might have understood the universe, materials, and perhaps even physics in ways fundamentally different from our own. The whispers from the past continue, urging us to look deeper, question assumptions, and acknowledge the vast, hidden chapters of human history still waiting to be fully read. What other secrets lie buried, waiting for us to rediscover the keys to unlock them? The search continues. What do you think? Are these artifacts proof of lost technologies, or are there simpler explanations? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you found this journey into history's mysteries intriguing, please give this video a like, subscribe for more explorations into the unexplained, and share it with others who dare to question.